Alright, starting at my desk. This is where I sit. This is my new office. Here's my big old wooden desk I've had for years. Here's all my stuff on it. I guess I'll start with the main thing, which is my computer, which is back here. It's a big old metal box of a case. It's an NZXT Phantom, I think it's called. I've had it for absolute years. Emma picked it out for me at one point. And I use it, yeah, I've used it ever since. I just always put my computers in here. I don't care about RGB. I don't care about what the insides of the computer look like. All I want is lots of room, lots of fans, lots of airflow. And that's what this case is. And you will never see any RGB coming out of it. Even if some parts I have RGB on it, I can't see it, so it doesn't matter. So that's my PC. As for the specs, I'll flash them up on the screen now. There we go. Okay, good. Hope I did that in editing. Moving on. I have 3 monitors. In reality, only the center one is my monitor. This is an LG GL27 something or other. I'll put up on the screen again. There you go. This is my gaming monitor. Look how much of a gaming monitor it is. It has NVIDIA G-Sync on it. Whoa, that's never going in focus, whatever. Yeah, this is the gaming monitor I bought fairly recently. Use it for everything now, 1440p, 144 Hz, blah blah blah. It's on a monitor arm, which I've never had until now, and I really, really wish I had monitor arms the entire time, because they're amazing. Like how much space I have under here for things. It's incredible. And it can like move and twist and all sorts. It's great. Should have always had one of these. Speaking of what I have actually always had, this here, LG again, funnily enough. These are the only 2 similar brands I have. This is a, oh god, I don't know, remember the name of it. Maybe I look it up and maybe I flash it on the screen, but I probably don't. It's a 1080p television, not a monitor, television from, I've had this like 10 years as well. This used to be my go-to like television monitor for everything. I use my computer on it, with just this. I use my game consoles and stuff on it. It has all sorts of inputs around the back, which I may be able to show you later. And yeah, that used to be my main monitor for 10 years, as I said, until I got this other LG gaming one. But it being like a 10-year-old 1080p LCD display, it's not super responsive. But I didn't know that until I got this. So I used to use this for absolutely everything. And I still use it like every day as a secondary monitor. And I've got some stickers on it. This here is an old phone case I had, but when I moved on to a different phone, I took the phone case off and stuck it on here for some reason. And this is a Josh with it that was cut out of paper and stuck on there. I don't remember the story behind that, but it wasn't me that did it. Then finally, we've got the unfortunate one of the bunch, if I even turn it on, because it isn't at the moment. This is a Samsung curved 1080p smart TV that Emma won in a competition one time. Unfortunately, if I actually turn on the display, because I normally have it turned off at this point, unfortunately you'll see that it's a bit broken. I had a bit of an incident with it that I'll explain later, maybe. If I didn't, I'll flash it up now. There you go. That's going to be my go-to for everything. But yeah, that display's kind of broken now. I really only use this if I'm desperate. As you can see, it just doesn't work anymore. Yeah, I only really use this if I'm desperate for more screen real estate. I normally just keep it unplugged. So try to replace that at some point. But as I have always said, if a kid or some other dependency on you breaks their smartphone or whatever, don't replace it with a new one. They get hand-me-downs, right? So that's what I'm going to do with this. Emma is going to get a nice new monitor, and I'm going to get one of her spare ones instead of me getting a new one, because I don't deserve one, because I broke it, because I'm dumb. Alright, that's my monitors and my computer. That's the big objects. Let's go down to the small objects. Obviously not the remotes, they're just remotes for televisions. We'll start with the biggest one. This is my keyboard. This is a Logitech Black Widow 2013 edition, green. I've had this, funnily enough, since 2013, when I bought it new. Yeah, I just love this keyboard, I just use it for everything. I've got like a second version of the second copy of this keyboard, which I use for spares and repairs, and I replace things and keep using this. But yeah, I've just used this keyboard for absolutely everything over the years. It's just like nice, tactile, clacky keyboard. It's just if you've ever heard a keyboard in a YouTube video of mine or on a Twitch stream or anything, it's this keyboard you've heard. MX Blue switches, I believe. It was before Razer switched to their own switches. They were using like MX ones. This row of macro keys on the side, I've literally never used for anything ever. They've never been bound to anything. That's because I don't want to use Razer's software, because it's horrible, especially the modern one that you have to get. I don't ever want to use it, so I've literally never bound these to anything. It's just a stock keyboard. I never use any macros or anything like that. For some reason my caps lock is on, it's not anymore. Okay, good. Keeping on the theme of input, I suppose, this is my mouse. This is a Corsair Scimitar Pro mouse that I've used for a while now. And as you can see, it's an MMO mouse, which means it has this big old numpad on the side, and people are shocked when I tell them, but yes, I actually do use all of these buttons with my thumb. They are bound 1 through 9, and then 0, DPI switch, which changes that LED, and then this is escape, which is useful in video games. And yeah, I use all those buttons all the time. I used to play a lot of MMOs, like, well, a lot of Guild Wars, I guess, is pretty much it. And I would use this mouse a whole lot. With this mouse, you could basically play Guild Wars with one hand. Not that you would for any reason, but, you know, it's useful. And yeah, I've just got used to having a big numpad on the side of my thumb, so it's just like, with this hand, your left hand, you have this whole keyboard, and your right hand, you just have a mouse. Like, why don't you have a load of buttons accessible to your right hand as well? So, yeah, I use that for everything. People don't believe me, but yes, I use all of these buttons. And funny story with this one, the Corsair software does not let me bind things in the way I want. You have to have a profile switch button, and I never use profiles, and you have to have a DPI switch button, and they have to be these two buttons on the top. But I don't want that. I want these two buttons to be back and forwards in like browsers and stuff like that. So I had to download a hacked version of the software that lets me... No, I didn't download a hacked version. I had to change a bunch of files and stuff in the software to allow me to bind the buttons to whatever I want, to allow me to do this with DPI and stuff like that. Yeah, so I can't ever install that Corsair software again or update it. Whatever I have on this mouse is staying on this mouse unless I want to go through that horrible process again, which I don't. So hopefully I never run into problems with this mouse and never need to reinstall software. This is actually the second copy of this mouse I had. I don't remember what happened to the first version of the mouse. I think it broke somehow. But it was right before ESA, and I didn't have time to like fix it or anything, so I just bought a second one, like panic, and then because I didn't want to like learn a new mouse or anything right before my ESA run. So yeah, that's that. That's my phone. It's a OnePlus 3T. Had it for years. It's kind of bendy. If you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen it. My tweets about it when I did it. It's still a little bit broken. It's kind of hard to show on this camera, but. The top of the screen is no longer attached to the base, like the metal bit with the motherboard and all that stuff on it. So you can sort of see how it's a little bit, it's not really attached. It used to be a lot worse, but I've slowly over time just kind of bent it back into shape. And it's sort of getting there. So yeah, I've had this phone for years, no reason to upgrade, works fine, whatever. I've got a tape measure for measuring things, a really grubby remote that I never use for anything. This was the cover for the camera that I took off when I started recording this video, and I just lobbed it there. Wallet, keys that I'm not going to show you in any detail. Racing gloves, yeah, I'll get to my racing setup in a bit. My gloves will be part of that, and I'll put them on there because I'll forget to say that otherwise. Some scissors, which I have here for some reason, and yeah, a tablet I just use for something sometimes. And then some earphones, a Bluetooth speaker that I hardly ever use. And this is an anti-cat spray. It looks like Frylight. I had no affiliation with Frylight, but I just took a Frylight bottle, cleaned it out, and I just put a ton of water in it. So if the cat really starts to annoy me, I pick up that spray bottle and she runs away because she doesn't like being sprayed with water. I hardly ever use it on her. I think I've used it on her once, and now she's terrified of it and she never goes near it. Coming to the other side, we have my HTC Vive VR headset. This is the VR headset I use for everything, like iRacing and all that. I've had this one for years now. I think I bought it secondhand. I did, yep. And I've just used it all the time. I have no reason to upgrade because I can barely get this to run at 90 Hertz at whatever resolution it is. So there's no point to upgrade to like a Vive or anything, because that would just be more frames at higher resolutions, which I won't be able to drive to it while I'm streaming. So whatever, this headset, perfectly fine. It's low resolution, but I don't care, because I don't care about jaggies and stuff like that. Then I got my audio headset. I've always had this Sennheiser headset. I used to have a Sennheiser HD 360 game or something before this. I don't quite remember what it was called, but it was something like that. And I used that headset for ages. It was the first headset I ever bought with like Twitch stream money. I remember that. And I used that for years as like an audio upgrade, and used it for everything, like the microphone and audio and everything. And I love that headset. And when it finally broke, when the cable in it broke, you can see this one's kind of getting a bit breaky. I had to look, this was like years later, like, you know, it was like recently. I had to look around for replacement stuff. Yeah, I had to buy a replacement headset, and this was the upgrade path from the Sennheiser headset I have. The only thing I hate about it is these red glossy accents it has on the side and in the ear cups. But I mean, in the ear cups don't really matter, but this red glossy stuff on the side is really annoying. There is a direct upgrade from the headset I used to use, but it's only available on Massdrop and nowhere else, and that's only available in the US, so I can't get it. So if you're one of the people with those Sennheiser headsets that I can't remember the name of, and you're in the UK, let me know, because I might buy it from you, because, yeah. But the main thing that I like about this headset is that these cables here are retractable, or not retractable, take-outable. I can't do it because I'm using one hand, but this bit comes out of the headset, and then I can like just replace the cable if the headset dies, instead of replacing the whole thing. And in fact, what I have with my VR headset is that I actually have a separate cable that this goes into here, and I use this audio cable from the headset with a bunch of like USB audio stuff in there. And I use that on this headset when I'm doing VR stuff, so I don't have to like be tethered to the computer with this tiny cable. Moving on. Oh yeah, I should talk about the stands for these monitors. So this monitor is on the monitor stand, as I said, it's great. This TV is on top of two boxes, two keyboard boxes. This is some kind of Logitech G something keyboard that Emma had. And then this is a Wooting 1 keyboard, very popular with Fortnite players right now, but it wasn't when I got one. But yeah, that holds that monitor up. And then here we have two Carcassonne expansions. One of them's German, and a Dragon Ball original manga collection that I've literally never read. I just use it as a monitor stand. Speaking of monitor, I guess I'll explain how it broke horribly. That's because you can't see anything back here, but this is the back side of my PC. This is how the setup works at the moment. I've got my PC on top of my desk, as you've seen, and all my cables are in here. It's flipping pitch black for you, and there's no way I can make it not pitch black. Maybe I can grab my phone. Oh god, let me try this. I'm doing it live. Come on, phone. Phone, do the gesture thing. There it is. There you go. You can sort of see now. Look how horrible and mucky it is back here. Yeah, here's all my cables going into my PC. I'll explain where they all do in a bit. But yeah, when I was building the office, like sorting it out, oh Jesus Christ. When I was sorting out the office, exactly this happened. I was back here working on cables, I must have knocked the monitor and it's fallen down completely like this. But I'm confused as to what caused exactly this damage. My best guess is like this here, although I don't quite know how that would happen. But I have like, other than my keyboard, which is all the way over here, I have like nothing hard on my desk. I don't think this was here or anything. So I was very confused how that happened. Didn't quite understand it. But yeah, there's my PC back there, and here's all my these are half of my power cables and stuff that I have here. And yeah, I've got like acoustic foam on the wall. You may notice it's a bit echoey in here. Yeah, that's because I haven't finished the acoustic foam. I've got some on these doors, which you should remember for later. Anyway, there's a ring light there that I just use for lighting the room. And yeah, I've got a little bit of acoustic foam here, but there's like none all the way around here, and I need like all of that. But I'll get to that eventually. Right, moving on. Oh yeah, I've got USB hubs. There's going to be a theme with my setup. I have a lot of USB hubs. I have a lot of USBs. This is my mouse, the ring light LED thing I just showed you, that's a HDMI splitter. That's my phone if I ever need to connect it. That's my PS4 controller when I'm doing speed runs, which is on my desk right now, but I'll get to later. And there's a bunch of free slots, obviously. Oh yeah, my Blue Yeti microphone, I didn't talk about that. It's a Blue Yeti microphone. I bought one like every other streamer who doesn't know anything about audio. There you go, it's terrible, don't get one. The threading on it, the threading on this is the wrong size. It's not to spec, so it doesn't fit anything. Even if it's designed for the Blue Yeti, it's terrible. So don't get one of these. They're trash. There are way better microphones. Alright, moving on. Oh yeah, my chair, I should talk about that. It's a IKEA Marcus office chair that I use. I've taken the arms off of it because I just use this as an armrest instead. But yeah, that's that, I guess. Alright, so moving on to the iRacing setup. This is my iRacing chair. It's a X-Rocker something or other. It's just a Playseat Challenge clone that was cheaper than a Playseat Challenge, I guess. But yeah, I would, I sit down, well, that was a little aggressive. It's not quite in the right place because I've moved it, but I would sit here and I stare at this. That's where the VR headset comes in, and I'm sat here wearing VR, so I actually see the game and stuff. But yeah, this is my setup. Got a Logitech G29, just a normal stock wheel, nothing important. But what is different, first of all, is my pedals, which are very dark and I don't think you can see. Those are G29 pedals, but I have removed the rubber block from the brake. And that makes it so that the brake isn't like some crappy load cell, like gimmicky thing. It's just a normal linear spring brake. The problem is, the wheel expects it to have the rubber block and will curve the braking pressure based on it. So what I had to do was I had to buy these cables back here. I can't actually see it, I'm sat like way away from it. But these are Leo Bodnar cables, and they, I guess I'll have to stand up, and they allow you to plug the pedals straight into the computer via, you guessed it, USB. That's why there's another USB hub here. So the pedals are plugged directly into the PC, bypassing the wheel, so that I can use my own curve, and I just have a nice linear one, so the brake pedal works. But also, I have a G20, it was £8 apparently, I have a G27 shifter, not a G29 shifter. I use a G27 shifter because it has more buttons and I need lots of buttons. But this shifter doesn't work with this wheel, so I had to get a different Leo Bodnar cable. I can't remember which one's which actually. But that made it so that I could use the shifter. But it does mean I have to have a dedicated USB hub just for these things. And there's other USB is just this camera here that I use when I'm streaming iRacing. And that's that. So that's my iRacing setup. Oh yeah, the gloves. They seem really weird. Like, why do you need gloves for like virtual racing? But it's just to like, it helps me like grip the wheel because it has like this sticky stuff on it. And more importantly, it has these sweat pads on it. And I get quite sweaty in VR. So I can use this thing on my thumb to like wipe sweat away from my face. And that's it. That's why I use that. But yeah, you will notice I'm up against a wall here. This room isn't the biggest. So it's good that I can use VR because I would not be able to fit any like sized monitors in here at all. So yeah, that's my iRacing setup and my desk. So behind me in the office, you will notice things have gotten a lot more echoey now maybe because I'm talking just into this flat wall which is super echoey. But anyway, behind me in the office I just have like this random workbench thing that was installed when I got here. I don't have anything to do with this. This is just like, I just use it as a little workbench, so if I ever need work on any project or anything, like, you know, DIY or whatever, I just have all my crap here and all a bunch of bolts and random crap like that. Just shove it here. I plan to eventually use this to like work on like console things, like controllers and consoles themselves, like open them up and twinker in them and clean them and all sorts of stuff here. May or may not record that, but yeah, that's what that space is for. Underneath it, we have a bunch of storage. So this is an air conditioning thing. Yes, I'm one of the people that has air conditioning in the UK, but it's a crappy portable thing. I know the portable things are terrible. You don't need to send me the technology connections video. I have watched it as well, but there is no other choice in the UK. I cannot buy anything else and install it into a flat that I rent, right? That is as good as it's going to get, and it's good enough for me, okay? Good, got that out of the way. And yeah, these boxes here are all just full of like random cables and other boxes of other things and crap like that. That's all that's under there. This here is an Xbox 360 that I found in the trash that I fixed and recovered. That bag's for like full of Steam Link and stuff like that, and I've got a bunch of things here. Back here, some more boxes and stuff like that. Nothing too interesting. There's a wheel, some control stuff. This here is what I call the big circle chair. This has an official name that I can't remember, but I'll flash up on the screen. Good luck, Josh. Okay, there it goes. And yeah, this I do sometimes use for sitting. So if I sit in this stuff, oh yeah, and there's power situations, but I'm sure you don't care about electricity stuff, whatever. Oh yeah, cable management, we'll get to that. But yeah, sometimes I sit here if I want to chill out in my office, but normally I just chill out in the living room. So this circle chair kind of just gets used for random clothes storage. I'll probably remove it from this room and put like shelves or something behind me at some point, but for now that's where it's going. There's my internet cable that's heading out to my router, which I guess I could show you. And last but not least, we have a good old stoolie. This is a wooden chair that the back broke off of, so rather than chuck it away, I turned it into a stool, and now I use it for standing on to reach things like this. Right, and that's the office. So now we're going to go out the office. I'll probably show you the cat area, because everyone loves cats, and I'll show you what's on the other side. Not on the other side of that door, but surprise, this is actually a door. So I will show you what is on the other side of that door. Alright, welcome to the other side of this double door. Here's the cat station. She has a cat tower, a cat bowl, and a cat water thing. And obviously there is a cat. Shall we feed the cat? Nom noms, Coco. Nom noms. I know, I'm talking to a camera and you're freaked out, aren't you? Yeah, I know. So let's give you some noms. And let's show everyone how this cat tower works. Don't be camera shy, cat. Come on. Come on, eat the food. That's it. So this cat tower, you put her food in through the top, and then she eats all the bits that she's... Hello, yes, you're a very good kitty. Eat the food. Please eat the food for the people. So what she has to do is she has to work to get the cat food out. This is like the best way of slowing the cat down eating that we found. She's vibrating her tail like crazy. Alright, kitty. Oh, you're just going to play with me instead of eat, aren't you? Okay, well, I'll explain how it works anyway. Yeah, the food goes in through the top, and then there's a bunch of little holes. She's more interested in the camera than anything else. There's a bunch of holes that she has to get the food down before it finally lands in this bowl and she gets to eat it. She seems to really enjoy it. There she goes. Oh, there you go. She shoves her paw in, claws it out, pushes it into the hole. It's genius. If you've ever had a cat, you know that they're really good at knocking stuff off of tables and things like that. This is using a cat's ability to knock stuff off. So she knows how to do that. She knows she can knock things off of other things, and she loves to do it. And now she gets food for doing it. So this is great. It's a little interactive game for her. She gets to, like, eat. But she's also, like, using brain power, I guess, and, like, she's eating a lot slower, because she used to just eat food, like, really, really fast, and then she'd throw it up. Now she has this, and she throws up less. So yeah, that's the cat station. There's cat poop there. Okay, cool, perfect. Moving on. Right, so we finally moved on to the fun part of the tour. Welcome to my console living room area. Sorry about all the clothes and all the mess. Blame Emma for that one. But anyway, this is my console area. So you see these double sets of double doors here. Mysteriously, the top half blanked out. Well, this is the other side of my desk. Now, this may seem really weird to you. I'll open this one a little bit. This may seem really weird to you. Josh, why would you ever want the back side of your desk to be available from here? Well, the point is that I get access to a bunch of cables, and it's really good for streaming and stuff like that, as I shall demonstrate. So, this is, we'll get to that in a moment. This is my big ass TCL, the cheapest 4K TV money could buy TV. The reviews for this TV are terrible because everybody claims about how laggy it is and how terrible the smart features are and shit like that. But I don't care because I don't want to use all the smart features. I'm gonna plug a computer and a bunch of consoles into the TV and use it like that. Screw the inbuilt crap. So this 4K TV is perfect. It's literally just a 4K panel and that's all I need. Screw all the smart stuff. But yeah, this is where I sit if I do console stuff. I've got 2 sofas, I've got all my console games up there, and yeah, there's my office. Let's sit down. So, here I have like a bunch of peripherals and this keyboard. Now you may be wondering, Josh, how the hell do you use your PC from here when it's like there and all the monitors are plugged into it from there? Well, let me show you. This monitor, my main gaming monitor, is on a monitor arm, as you may notice. So now I'm going to very carefully demonstrate how this works with one arm. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, this is terrible with one hand. Careful with these cables. Okay. Normally I'd use 2 hands and I'd like rotate the monitor and stuff, but anyway, I can sort of do it from here. It comes out way more than that, but yeah, anyway, one arm. You get the point. But using this, you're not going to be able to see anything. Maybe if I open something, there you go. I can control my PC from here. Okay, so now with my monitor rotated like this and my keyboard here, hello, I'm in the TV. Now I can use the TV as another monitor connected to my PC. So if I turn the TV on, you see it opens up and it's my computer again. Wow, here it is. So now I can like open all the things I need and I can move using like hotkeys and stuff, which I just realized I can't really do with one hand. There we go. I can move stuff between the monitors. So if I ever want to watch like YouTube or anything, I don't use the inbuilt crap. I just fucking use my PC, which is like, you know, the most powerful computer in the house. And I render it off of that and watch from that. No lag. Can open multiple tabs. I can have things side by side. It's perfect. It just works. And I can just sit here, feet reveal. And just, yeah, use my computer like that. So this is great for like watching Formula 1 and all sorts. But now if I can somehow convince the thing to focus, there we go. This here, this is a picture of a diagram of stuff that I made in order to figure out this setup. So this doesn't make any sense, but I will help it make sense to you what this drawing means. So you may notice that I have a bunch of consoles around, and a bunch of mysterious boxes underneath, and a VCR that isn't hooked up to anything. This diagram is my notes from before I made this setup on how I was going to connect everything in multiple ways. So, you can see down here, I've written 4K. If you follow the blue lines where it says changeover, I had to edit this a whole bunch. Represents the TV in this setup. And then I have like switch boxes and stuff. So what I've done is I've set it up so that I have all of my consoles through a bunch of switch boxes and stuff plugged into the TV. They're all plugged into the TV all at once, and I can just use this little tiny remote and this remote and stuff to pick like what goes on the TV and stuff. But not only that, I can also do some other stuff with it that is very relevant for streaming. So for demonstration purposes, let us turn on, let's turn on the Nintendo Switch. That's an easy one. So if I turn on the Nintendo Switch, on it goes. I'll grab my 8-bit controller, convince this to turn on. Yeah, okay. So now, if I take this remote, which is for the blue light, this box underneath, this is a HDMI switch box. It's not a splitter, it's a switch box. That box has 4 inputs, represented by these 4 numbers, and it has 2 outputs, represented by the 2 boxes. So if I turn this thing on, and now I have to play the guessing game, I need to have pieces of paper written on here, like labels for what number is what. I think the Nintendo Switch is 2. We'll see. But you may be wondering why I need 2 outputs. Well, you're about to see. So, if I change to HDMI 2. Please work, or I'm going to look like a dumbass. God damn it. Give it a second, because it might take a minute. Hey! Editing magic. So here we are. So I have the Nintendo Switch now outputting to the television. And apparently I was playing Super Mario last time I used this. So now I've got my Nintendo Switch hooked up to the TV. I don't have to change any cables or anything. So yeah, using the HDMI switch box, I can get the Nintendo Switch to output to the TV, but I can also get all the other consoles at the same time to output to the television. But that's not all. You will notice that the switch box has 2 outputs, not just 1. So if we turn to my lovely gaming monitor, which is currently connected to my PC, if I switch it to HDMI 1, you will notice that the Nintendo Switch is actually, if I grab the controller, on both screens at the same time. Both at the same time. So the switch box is outputting to the TV and the monitor. So I can, if I'm sat in the office streaming, I could stream console games. But if I want to be in the living room and play console games, I can do that as well. But there is one final third function that I have attached to this HDMI switch box. If I go back to my my television, and you see that the switch stays there. If I go back to this, you'll see that I actually, from the switch box, this represents the switch box that I've been talking about with this remote control. Here are the 4 things that are plugged into it. I'll get to that section in a minute. Down here, I actually have the 2 outputs from it. I have one of them going into a splitter. That is, if we go to the mess that is cables behind my desk, that box down there, this box, is my HDMI splitter. So that's taking the output from the HDMI switch box and splitting it. So not only does it go to this monitor, it also goes into my capture card in my computer. So whatever consoles anyone's playing here, I can actually capture it on my PC at the same time, which allows me to stream it. And all of this without having to move any cables or anything. It just all works. No messing about. I can play all consoles at once. I won't, because it will draw too much power and probably break a fuse, but I can play all of these at once if I wanted. That is this lower section. Then down here you'll see that my PC is connected by a display port to my 1440p gaming monitor. And then I also have it, this is the only part of my setup that falls down with the whole not changing cables thing. So while my PC is connected to the 4K TV via HDMI, I only have one free port on my PC, and I have to change between the 4K TV and VR. So if I want to use my VR headset, I have to unplug my 4K TV from my PC. That's the only time I have to do it. I'm yet to find a solution to that. I just need a graphics card with more outputs, because I already have like 4 things plugged into it, and you can't have 5. So maybe I could use like another HDMI switcher or something, but it doesn't seem worth it. I can't ever imagine a situation where I would want to use the 4K TV from my PC and VR at the same time. So that's what that dashed line there means. But now, yeah, the 4K and the 1440p are supposed to be the other way around. The splitter is the monitor and the capture card, which makes more sense. But now, finally, to the top of my setup. This is where the old consoles will go. So you'll notice that the PS TV, the 360, and the Nintendo Switch, they all output at, don't worry about the numbers by the way, they output at HDMI, right? They output HDMI clean signal. These things up here, the VCR, the PS2, and the Wii, they don't. They predate HDMI, and they output analog signals. So I also had to get an OSSC in order to convert these signals to HDMI to then use in the Switch, to then use in the capture card and all this stuff. And I'll show you how that works now. Okay, so I've moved the table back against the chair so I can try to show you this from up close. So we're right up against this now, and I'm going to show you this. So we've got my retro consoles here. There's not much of a collection of retro consoles yet, but I will get more. This is a Nintendo Wii, obviously, and this is a PS2. I don't know why I explained that to you, you should be able to know. These are outputting analog signals, as I said, and that will not go into the HDMI switch box, it won't go into the TV, it won't go into my capture card or anything. So I bought a OSSC, which is this little magic box here. Ta-da! Oh, there we go. The OSSC, it stands for the Open Source Scan Converter. What this does is it takes analog video inputs, so in this case RGB or component, and it will line double them to make them higher resolution. It'll de-interlace them badly, but it will, and it'll spit them out in a really weird resolution, but thankfully modern TVs that are 4K will take weird resolutions quite happily, as will my 4K capture card. My monitor less so, but that's not much of a problem. So, using this device, I can upscale, sort of, what comes out of these consoles and put them onto modern TVs. So if I turn on my PS2, you'll notice this other box that's on top of the HDMI switcher. This is a component video switch box. So I have 3 inputs and 1 output. So right now it's on 1, which is PS2. I can set it to 2, which is Wii. 3, which isn't anything yet. But we'll keep it on 1, nice satisfying physical click. And then that will take both the Wii and the PS2's input, and I can select which one goes to the OSSC. So now, if I grab my remote and I change to HDMI 2, this is still set to the Nintendo Switch, but using this little magic box, if I press 1 on both of these, that should eventually switch to the OSSC. So you can see that that's just outputting like a grey test box and a bunch of like borderlines and stuff. But now if I grab this other weird looking remote, this is just a standard like universal TV remote, but they've like changed it to work with the OSSC. So now if I press this button here, we'll change what the OSSC is doing, and all of a sudden we get PS2. So this little box is absolutely magic. So normally the PS2 outputs in PAL, in like Europe and stuff, it will output 576i, which means interlaced. And modern TVs and capture cards and stuff all hate interlaced signals. But this will take it, it will line double it. We are currently, if I use my television remote, we're currently at... Oh, okay, so it's just turned it into 576p right now. At 50 Hertz. But P is way better than interlaced. I won't bother explaining it. If you already know, you know. If you don't, whatever, look it up. But basically it makes it so the signal plays nice with modern TVs. So now I can find my PS2 controller, and I could just use my PS2 with absolutely 0 input delay on my nice shiny TV. And we get like, if I press this button, we get like information on the signal coming in. Oh, I opened OPL, so it went 1080p. But the OSSC will detect whatever weird resolution the PS2 is giving, because it changes all the time, and it will convert it into a signal the TV is happy with. So yeah, I could just play all my PS2 things and all my Wii things all perfectly with this nice little box. And it makes it look all nice and shiny on a nice 4K TV. We do get a little bit of a flicker, but it's pretty imperceptible. Anyway, I guess I could explain this while I'm here. This is the open... I've got a soft modded PS2. I have like a free McBoot memory card. And this is the OPL, the Open PS2 launcher, I believe. And on here, it's like I could just select whatever games that I have. And I'm running them over the Ethernet port to my PC. And on my PC, I've got my physical game collection, if I show it. My physical game collection, I've got some of them like backed up, not stolen, backed up to my PC, so I can play them. I can play them without ruining the disc and the laser and stuff. Right, speaking of Ethernet, that moves us on to our next Blinky box. This is a Netgear router, which a bunch of Ethernets in. Pretty self-explanatory. This one's internet. This one's Emma's computer. This one's Raspberry Pi, and this one's PS2. And it's internet and the connection to my PC, I guess I should say. And then above it, I have a little Raspberry Pi going. I use that for Pi-hole, and it's also the Botimus stuff that runs on my Twitch channel. That's that, pretty simple. And then above that, I've got another USB hub. This one with 3 powered ports on it, so we can charge lots of things. And right now we appear to be charging Emma's battery bank for some reason here, whatever. And yeah, this USB thing is connected to my computer, so if I need to use USB cables on my PC, I can plug them in here and I can still use it while I'm on my living room. And that's a Wii sensor bar wireless one. I wonder what that looks like on the camera. Yeah, there you go. Can you actually see the lights? Sort of. Camera's not that great at carrying that. Whatever. That's that. The VCR isn't plugged in, don't worry about it. And I have some boxes and cables. And I think that's that. That is the entire setup. Using these 4 cables? I thought it was 3. I don't know what this 4th one is. I think this 4th one is a lie. I don't know, whatever. But using 3 to 4 cables between under these double doors, between my PC setup and the living room, I've got this all hooked up. It all works magically. And yeah, I can just stream these games and capture them, or just play them in my living room or my office, whatever I want. So that was my office tour video. I hope you liked it. If I turn the TV off, you should be able to see me, right? There we go. Hey, it's me. Alright, so thanks a lot for watching. I'm sure that was really long. I'm sorry I waddle on a bit. But that's the whole setup. That's how that all works. I hope you liked it. I hope I don't miss anything. I'll put on the screen now a bunch of stuff that I find that I missed, that I didn't talk about later in editing. I'm sure it'll be great. Probably flying over your screen now. Excellent, that's done. So thanks a lot for watching. See you for the next video. No, I'm not playing San Andreas. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!